Hi everyone, welcome back to the LFC Ahmedabad podcast. Today we have with us Anmol Javeri and myself. Ashutosh and Dhawal have escaped as always, so we are left with two of us. So let us start with the today's podcast. Uh, Today our focus would be on the LFC transfer, that is Luis Diaz, and we will discuss what were the signings under Michael Edwards, departing Michael Edwards, and what does Luis Diaz bring, and uh, future transfers, and what are the chances of our silverware. So more of a transfer plus a Liverpool director-based podcast. So let us begin with the first intro. So there were many disappointment during the summer, outrage from many fans, few from myself as well. So I would just like to ask, what are the views of Anmol on this?
I think it's natural because of last season we had so many injuries and lack of squad depth. So it was obvious that we would be expecting signings, especially in the attacking area and the midfield area, because that was the main place where we had to address. And we signed Konate before that. So uh, attack, we signed Jota, so that was a bit balanced. But I think we still needed an out-and-out striker. But I think Jota is filling the spot now. Midfield also, one good creative or attacking midfielder would have helped in the summer transfer window. But things are going fine so far. We have kept our squad fit, and even if like we missed a few players in the midfield area, but we have coped up well. And during the January AFCON period, also after Salah, Mane, and Keita went, we managed quite well with I think 3 wins and a draw against Arsenal.
Yep. Uh,
Uh, so far, I think the fans' outrage was natural, and thankfully, we are in a very good progression with Luis Diaz right now.
yep. Uh, मेरा issue यही था कि what I was thinking was you knew from the summer, right, that Mane and Salah won't be there during the AFCON. So you had known the injury issues with Keita, Ox, Minamino, Origi. So you knew that they were not reliable, right? You offloaded Shakiri, right? That is okay. I am not expecting 100 million signing. You address the defense with Konata, that is perfect. But the issue was that our current crop of players were not reliable. So what I was expecting was either offload Minamino or Origi or Ox, and either loan or sell, and bring in a replacement that is reliable, who can sustain in the period, in the absence of Salah Mane. Thankfully, uh, we have covered that part, but the issue that was prevalent during the Leicester game was we only had Firmino on bench, and Minamino and Origi were injured. So we lost that particular match because we did not have bench strength. So luckily in the January we coped it really well. But what frustrated me was that we already knew that this situation might come in December or January. So because
Because
the difference
this is
between,
the
yeah,
period, that's why a lot of matches coming
so
up.
yeah, so if you ask me what is the difference between City and Liverpool squad, I would say when City's players bench come into the XI, their quality doesn't drop. But when Liverpool's XI changes, their quality drops. So that is the only difference that is pushing Liverpool down. So I was frustrated with that particular part, but I think we have addressed the situation quite well now with the arrival of Luis Diaz. Initially, the situation was that Harvey Elliott was playing fine, so we thought that we might not need midfielder. Plus, Ox had played really well during that brief period in November, December. So we somehow managed that particular part. But I think we are still away from one good midfielder when Milner departs in summer.
Yeah,
So
actually, a very good point about Harvey Elliott also. Uh, I think I read somewhere on Twitter only that after the international break, we'll be having, I think, most of our, like 99% of our squad will be back fit. I think for the
yep,
first time this season.
yep,
Thiago will be back. Harvey Elliott is also going to be available. So I don't think Klopp will obviously play Elliott so fast, but he will be training with the first team.
yep,
So, which is a very good sign, and obviously with the signing of Luis Diaz, it adds to the squad depth.
yeah. So we have a picture of our owner. In the mind, there would be only one thing going on. That would be, are you not entertained? So starting off with the transfer of Luis Diaz. Uh, this is the graph of his stats. What do you think, Anu?
So I've seen his stats. I think he has around 18 goals assist in the Portuguese league this season.
Yep,
Saw
yep, yep,
saw his few videos also on YouTube, and super energy, is electric on the wings, great dribbling, and his acceleration with the ball is also amazing. Very intensive player, and also his goal scoring technique, like he cuts inside and like typical Mane style play.
yep,
So I think I've seen this with FSG and Klopp that they sign players, but like they surprise us with the signings. If
yep,
we see with Jota, you see with Fabinho,
yep,
and they won't splash the cash for like any random player. Like United signed
yes.
Jadon Sancho, Maguire, so they'll always go for players who have high potential, room for improvement. So I think great future potential for us. Great player in our hands, and I'm very excited to see him in the future matches.
I think like all other signing, he would take time to adapt because if I see the chart, pretty much looks really good except the pressing duels attempted part. So I think that is the one aspect Klopp will uh,
Address,
work
yeah,
on.
definitely then,
So I think
because
apart from that, he
that is
looks.
how that one of the areas what Klopp's like. So I think he will address that issue.
Apart from that, I think he looks a complete player. I have not seen him much. I only seen him in couple of matches, the City match and against us. So I haven't seen much of him. But I think he's a really good player with high ceiling. So he should work really
Yeah,
well.
he's 25 years, I think so.
Yeah,
I think coming at the end of, I think, Mane, Salah, and Firmino's last, I think 2 3 years. If you say, even if they agree a new deal, I think it'll be max till 24 25. So I think with Jota and Luis Diaz, I think we are in good hands. Even if one of them decides to leave in the future, I think we have good backup.
yep. So I think it is
And
a yeah,
Klopp won't rush him so fast, because we have seen this with Konate, Fabinho, Minamino, and even Thiago also. That
yeah,
takes time for players to adjust in the Premier League. So it'll. I think Luis Diaz also. He might play in the FA Cup just
yeah.
a few minutes, but difficult to uh, start him in the Premier League ahead of Mane, obviously.
Which brings me to the question: what do you see? Who is going out? Because we are sell to buy.
I think obviously Mane, Salah, Firmino won't leave. Even Jota, he just came in, so no chance. Uh, that leaves Origi and Minamino. I can see Minamino leaving. I think Leeds had an offer. I think they
Yep.
rejected it, or
Leeds
but
and
they did have
Monaco have shown the
an
interest.
offer this winter. Yeah. But I would want Origi to stay, because he gets those clutch goals and he performs when we need him. Like when all three of our all front three are not firing, like he is the one who gets those last minute goals, and against, like if you see in Wolves. So I think Origi is out of contract this summer.
Yep.
So I think I would want him to sign for a year, maybe just to see if it works well. If we don't sign a striker, but I can see Minamino leaving, because he hasn't performed that well and maybe because he doesn't suit the style of play which
Yeah, I think
Klopp's
the
team plays.
physicality of the
So
league doesn't suit him.
yeah, and I think Minamino will be the only option who might be leaving this window or in summer. And
I
plus,
think
it wasn't that sad also because we bought him for 7.5 million, which is not a big amount right now. So we won't be that sad to see him leave.
I think with the arrival of potential arrival of Fabio Carvalho in summer or winter, I don't know when we would get him, but I think we have concrete interest. So if I am going by how Klopp is building the team, I am thinking that uh, either Firmino leaves in the summer, which I think it could happen, could not, depends on whether we are going for someone like Bowen or let's say Bowen or Rafinha or anyone. If we go for him, or I would say that we stick with the team we have, and maybe Origi or Minamino leaves. Because
I think
if you see Mane and Diaz would play on the left wing, you have striking options
Jota.
in Firmino and Jota, but you don't have anyone to uh, sub, backup for Salah. Of course, there is no backup. You can't have backup for world class players, but still, if
You need an
if
option
I
to play on the right wing.
yeah, so I think if we do sign, let's say someone like Bowen or Rafinha, if they are playing on right wing, I think there is a possibility Salah plays up front. So that brings you to the equation that either Firmino or maybe I don't know who leaves, but I think if we are keeping all the players, then I think the road ends for Origi or uh, Minamino. Uh, the only problem with Origi, I feel, is he has been here since 2016. So he is the same. He is at the same level that he was in 2016. Of course, he scores the important goals for us. The guy has a golden, what you can say, golden hand or golden arm. But when I see him play, I think he is still the same that he was in 2016. So if even Klopp is not able to improve him as a player, I think I mean he has scored many goals, but if you see him playing in 2017 when Klopp came, and if you see him playing now, you won't see
The
that
difference.
he has improved on this, or let's say he improved on this. So that's the only frustrating part about Origi. I think the same frustration I see is in Ox, because Ox was really good player until he got injured versus Roma.
Yes, yes,
Since
yes.
he has returned, I have not seen him threaten the defense the same way that he used to. He used to run at defense from midfield. So that driving run, I have not seen him. Uh, he is a he's playing fine. He's not getting injured, but I don't see him the same player that we bought him.
I think maybe the injury affected him, but you are right. Like the energy which Ox showed before, like in the Man City game, the 3-0
Yeah,
which we won, and 4-3 against City in the Premier League also. Um, but Ox has, I think maybe the injury has affected him quite a bit,
yeah. I think he
but
has
still,
lost a yard of pace due to injuries.
yeah. But I think since last, I think couple of months, he has been performing like
Yep.
holding the midfield well and playing quite well in the midfield.
I think he has managed in the
So
last two games. He has
let's
managed
see.
score and play on the right wing. He has played nice on right wings, but the only frustrating part about him is he plays 5 games, then gets injured, then it takes a lot of time for him to get him back into the rhythm.
Yeah, it's,
So
it's a bit inconsistent. So,
yeah,
but I think overall this season it's been a plus for him.
good one
So
for him.
yeah, let's hope that he maintains this form throughout the season.
Uh, moving on. So as we all know that our Michael Edwards is departing. So the negotiations for this Luis Diaz were carried out by uh, Julian Ward, our new director. But before that, have a look at the signings that have been made under Edwards, and it looks a really good sheet. I think if you pick out all these players, each of them are world class right now. Yeah, I could say that Naby Keita
Everyone like
and
stuff when they came in. Uh, so I
yeah,
was
go on, go
saying
on.
that from the list we can say everyone, like every player which we have signed when came in, they were not world class.
Yep,
And now if you say, like, I think out of 10, even 8 players would be world class right now.
yep.
So which says that the whole management of the transfer management and the player scouting has been amazing so far. It's sad to see Michael Edwards leave, but I think Julian Ward carrying out the whole transfer of Luis Diaz is a stepping stone now.
Mhm.
So hopefully he brings some good signings in the future and does good deals like Michael Edwards.
I think Michael Edwards has been here since more than 10 years. I don't know. He got promoted and he eventually became sporting director, but he was there since 10 years probably. So I think Real Madrid has interest in him. Of course, Papa Perez is interested, but I think he has done a really good job. So
But even Julian Watt, like he was working under Michael Edwards,
yeah,
so this is also a good learning lesson for him. So
yeah.
let's see what new signings he brings in.
I read somewhere the story that we were interested in Luis Diaz in summer, but we could not get him. So Spurs' interest forced us to um, push our transfer ahead of the summer instead in January. I think it is a pretty good business. I think you don't let the good player go to the different club. So I think it is a really good piece of business.
I think Luis Diaz was Liverpool's first top transfer in the summer. But I think that time Porto was asking for around 60 million pounds. And
Yep,
obviously, you know how FSG works, so they weren't going to splash 60 million for future prospects.
yep.
So and obviously now Spurs came in with a bid, and Luis Diaz also wanted to come to Liverpool, and I think that is the main reason we went in for him and got the deal done. And I think even Real Madrid, even Barcelona, not Barcelona, Manchester United also I think had contacted Porto for Luis Diaz.
I think what is the difference between us and rest of the clubs is I would apart from the City, because City you can't count City, but apart from that, most United clubs like United and they don't spend so much on the scouting. They would just look at the performances and sign the star. So I think I don't know who gave the comment, but yes, someone said that some manager said that it is looks more like a marketing club instead of a football club. So that tells you the structure over there. So I think you need to have a good footballing structure. I think the one that comes closest, I would say, would be I think Arsenal are developing a good structure at the club. Apart from that, I don't see in the top clubs the good footballing structure from the academy uh, to the main team.
Gerard is doing quite well.
Yeah, Gerrard is doing really well.
So, like you said about Manchester United, like you can have 11 world class players, but if they can't play together, like there's no point signing them. Even
Yep,
like 11 average players can win against them, which you have
yep.
been seeing the whole season. So I think you need to have a proper philosophy of how you want to play football and buy players according that. And I think Klopp has been doing this over the years, and I think that has benefited us massively. And I think, like you said, even
Truly.
Arsenal and Arteta is. We also had quite a few blips in the start of 2016-17. Arsenal is facing the same issues, but I think eventually, if they sign a good few players, they will be challenging for the top four soon.
So going ahead, what do you see? How do you see our season ending?
So far, it's been good. I think we're 6 points behind City. With City versus Liverpool still at the Etihad, still a game to be played, which will be obviously can be said as a title decider. Otherwise, we are in all four competitions right now. The Carabao Cup finals coming up as well. So Champions League, I'm a bit dodgy because Inter is first right now. They have signed, um, I think, a player from Atalanta who is quite good. So let's see, but it's a two-leg game. We can't say anything, and we have also strengthened our attack. FA Cup also, we have Cardiff coming up in the FA Cup, but optimistic. I think a couple of trophies this season would be a good season for us. I can see
Uh,
us maybe if we beat City at the Etihad, I think we can win the Premier League.
to be honest, I am more optimistic about Champions League than Premier League. Simply because of our squad. I think City, it is hard to. The other clubs are not performing, are not attacking to the same intensity that they do versus other teams, and that benefits City really well. So, if you ask me, I would say there are better chances. Personally, I think there are better chances to win Champions League because it's a two-legged tie, and if we have the first team, I think we can beat any team. So I I personally see that we might win League Cup and maybe Champions League. That's the two things I'm optimistic we might win. Uh, Premier League, I am not sure because of the same thing that City squad is better than our squad. I would say squad, not the XI, because if you ask me XI, there is no difference in qualities. But if you tell me that what is the difference, I would say their squad is better. So
Yeah,
I
definitely,
think,
because they have been spending so much.
yeah,
Their squad will be better. But I think, like, we have been giving them a good fight in the last few seasons. This season also, we have a good since our whole squad is fit now. We
hmm,
have a good chance of taking the title to City towards the end of the season.
the only part that they were lacking was striking, and I think they have signed. I'm not sure, is the striker going to join currently or in the summer?
The player from River Plate, I think Argentina, River Plate or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Boca Juniors, right?
I read somewhere that he is going to join in summer, and I read somewhere that he is joining
I think
current.
summer.
Okay,
I think it must be some, because if he was joining right now, you would have been seeing pictures or something about him.
yeah. So I think they are addressing each and every area. So let's see how it pans out. But I'm more optimistic about League Cup win, and another would be the Champions League. So
I
let's see
think
how
League
it
Cup is
pans
much needed right now because it will give a boost to all our players also, because we
out.
haven't
Just a sec.
win a while since yeah.
Yeah,
So it's been a while since we won the League Cup. So I think, and plus we haven't won a few finals at Wembley.
yeah.
Uh, Last time we lost against City. I think we've lost against City 2 to 3 times
I
at
think
Wembley.
every time our cup win goes through Chelsea. Any silverware passes through Chelsea win.
So hopefully we can capitalize on that.
Yep. So that's it from our side. Uh, we would be trying to bring in more of the FPL content and other content in the future. So stay tuned and watch our podcast. Like, share, and subscribe to LFC Ahmedabad. That's it for today. Thank you, everyone.
You guys.